Hello everyone, welcome to the IAS Mentor World History Series. So far we have covered 7 chapters, and in 7 chapters French Revolution we have covered. We are going to understand the next part of the 7th chapter, that is European revolutions. Identify this European revolutions. It is a continuation of French Revolution and it is one of the impacts and consequences of French Revolution. UPSC has already asked, explain how the foundations of the modern world were laid by French Revolution and American Revolution. So this is one of the components of that particular question also. What is this European revolutions? Same thing. When it comes to French Revolution, what happened? Completely they have destroyed the old structure and created a new structure. Absolute monarchy was there. They have removed and created a republican system. Democracy was not there, tried to establish democracy. Secularism not there, tried to establish secularism. Likewise, in other part of Europe also, this similar kind of movements started. They also started revolting against their own kings. French Revolution replicated in other parts of Europe also. That's why combinedly it is called European revolutions. If we see the map, this is the map of Europe. It started in 1789 in France. Their absolute monarchy was there, feudal order was there, church was dominating, no equality. Then they have destroyed and started to creating a new kind of socio-economic political order. Here also, Holy Roman Empire. Here there is absolute king, authoritarian king. Here also absolute authoritarian king. Here also feudal order, feudal setup was there. Feudal lords were exploiting peasants, and here also feudal. Here also same is the case. Here also same is the case. People are going to compare. If France people could change their government, why can't Italian people also do this? Why can't German people also do this? Why can't Poland people also do this? Why can't within Hungary, Austria also do this? There also one dynasty will be there. That dynasty used to rule for so many decades, so many centuries. And what kind of advantage the people were having if we are having a dynasty? Nothing. They are burdened with a lot of taxes. They are only benefiting some kind of aristocrats, some nobles, some priests, clergy. They were enjoying. When it comes to common people, they are living in what kind of conditions? Poverty, diseases. On top of it, if someone questioned the aristocrat, they were persecuted in the name of religion, in the name of attacking the orthodoxy or conservatism. If you question the tradition, immediately someone will come and punish you. So no freedom and no freedom. If you want to change the existing governance, then there is no democracy at all. People, if you write any article in the newspaper, immediately you will be imprisoned. In the name of sedition, anti-king, then you will be punished, executed. You will be killed, murdered. No democracy. That's where, when it comes to minority, always you should live in fear. If king is Catholic, then Protestants should live in fear. If king is Protestant, then Catholics should live in fear. That's where this kind of society. And within society, social divisions. Some by birth, some privileged, some were less privileged. Next, on top of it, when some countries like United Kingdom is going in industrially progressive manner, here less developed. Society not developed, science not developed, technology not developed, industries not developed. In some pockets, industries are there. In some pockets, industries are there. But what about the conditions of labor? Very difficult conditions. Wages were very poor. They were living in slums in urban areas. Even their children also had to work, child labor. Women were exploited And even women, whatever work they are doing, more number of hours they are working, but salary or wage is less than male. They will not have good housing facilities. They will not have good education facilities for their children. They will not have good health conditions. They have to live in slums. And if someone to be representing their grievances, there is nothing, no one is there in the parliaments. In some cases, the parliament itself is not there. In some cases, parliament is there, but that never function properly because the kings never call them, summon them. That's why. Identify this. In 1789, in case of France, everywhere it is, along with France in every other place, similar kind of situations. But French people first time attacked this kind of existing social norms. It became inspiration for the remaining things, remaining kingdoms also. That's why since beginning, there was continuous resistance and continuous opposition to the French Republic or the French new governments. After once they have executed their king in 1792-93, they have executed the king. They declared themselves as a republic. A republic means what? King no more, monarch no more. And they have astonished the world of Europe that how can common people who are not even considered as nowhere near to the monarch, how can they come and execute the king, killing the king? The other kings, monarchs are also equally terrified by this act because similar kind of revolution may come within their society also because their society also same only. There also political system is same, economic system is same religious problem, same social problem. People are worrying about the same like poverty. When there is no rain, then people are suffering from food, hunger, food riots used to take place. That's why kings were very much afraid. The moment French Revolution comes, the revolution alerted all the conservative monarchs. Immediately they start putting pressure. They continuously, if there is anyone who raised their voice in support of French Revolution, immediately they were arrested. They were completely silenced. They could silence for 1 decade. They could silence for 2 decades. They could silence for 3 decades. But not forever. That's what. Even French Revolution came to an end, but the ideals continuously burning or igniting the minds of the people. That's where European revolutions came. Majorly, there are 2 years. One is 1830, another one is 1848. These 2 years are considered as the year of European revolutions. It's not in single country it happened. In 1830, again the guiding light is France only. In 1789, French erupted. It inspired, but their monarchs suppressed their movements. Even after the defeat of Napoleon in 1815, there also, in France also, they tried to revive the old system. But French people themselves once again revolted in 1830. It became igniting point and it resulted in the revolutions in other part also. Italy, Germany, Belgium. In 1848, once again, France revolted because after 1830, they suppressed the liberal movements. Once again in 1848, once again erupted. This time many changes have taken place. Italy, Germany, Austria itself, which was trying to hold the old order, completely destroyed in France itself. These are the 2 years. Let me write one by one. So this is the broad. What are the factors behind European Revolution? Same story. Whatever the causes for French Revolution, same thing you have to write about revolutions in Europe as well. Let me write one by one. It's going to be very important to understand the next chapter, that is socialism, capitalism, communism. These are the various ideologies that emerged. The origin, root of these ideologies also there in this development. European revolutions. Factors. In 1830 and 1848, revolutions took place. Here European revolutions means including France also. France, other areas as well. If I draw like this is France. This is another kingdoms, neighboring kingdoms. Italy, Germany, even United Kingdom also. Every place is affected by French Revolution. Austria, Belgium, Examples: Poland. And with respect to Austria, here Germans, here Poles, here Italy, Hungarians, Serbs, Slavs. Austria itself is combination of so many nationalities. Many nationalities. Like France is a nation. Some people in Italy also wanted to become independent. When it comes to this, Italy itself divided, Germany itself divided. Divisions. United Kingdom. In 1830 and 1848, number one, monarchs, absolute. These are the terms you have to write in the examination. Whenever political situation, whenever political circumstance comes, absolute, authoritarian, despots, despotic, rulers, ruthless, cruel, and you can use many synonyms, this kind of political system. What they want? They are old order, conservative order. They were supporting conservative order. Conservative order, old order means what? Feudalism, serfdom, bonded labor. Feudalism, serfdom, bonded labor, privileged classes, underprivileged. Some are privileged, some are underprivileged. Hierarchical society, hierarchical. Clergy, nobles, common people. Clergy, nobles, common people. Everywhere this similar kind of situation. Common people are taxpayers, but they are the most receiving people who are not enjoying the life happily. Next, third one. Industrial revolution. Industrial revolution. In some pockets, industrial revolution took place. In many pockets, agriculture only. Agriculture means the feudal lords used to exploit the peasants. When it comes to wherever industrial development has taken place, here factory owners exploiting labor. But labor, no representation. For labor, there is no representation in parliament. And in fact, there is no parliament itself in some areas, no parliament at all. When it comes to Russia, it happened in 1900s only. No parliament at all. Then where is the representation? Even though England, United Kingdom is having parliament, but there is no representation for the workers. This even created movements. Labor people themselves created a movement called Chartist movement. No parliament, no representation. Industrial revolution, now their conditions like they are living in slums, they are suffering from diseases, poverty, child labor, poor wages. Identify this. This is the circumstance in which Karl Marx also is going to give the ideology of communism. That's what, after seeing these evils, Karl Marx has given a new ideology called communism. He told, throughout the past, there are some people in the society, they always exploited majority of the people. Majority of the people called exploited class. If you want to change the system, you cannot depend on the mercy of the upper layer. You have to ruthlessly overthrow, because they are behaving ruthlessly with you. You also have to completely eradicate the system ruthlessly. Otherwise, there is no change in the fate of these people. If you want to really change, if you want to break the bonds, really you have to completely ruthlessly destroy this system itself, hierarchical system. That kind of anger, that kind of emotion, that kind of intensity comes from this kind of existing society. That's where communism, this industrial revolution, is pro-capitalism. Capitalism means entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs called bourgeoisie. What Karl Marx called these labor class, proletariat. Proletariat. In 1789, in the French Revolution, bourgeoisie, proletariat distinction not much. As it entered into 19th century, in 1800s, as the industrial revolution is gaining momentum in other parts of Europe also, this class distinction also became very clear. Initially, feudal class distinction, feudal lord, serfs. Now bourgeoisie and proletariat. This kind of class distinction is also emerging by 1840. In 1830 also, this kind of situation is emerging. That's where you can see capitalism and communism. There is one more ideology. UPSC specifically mentioned about this. Identify this one. The next, identify this. The next chapter which we are going to discuss is socialism, capitalism and communism. Could you see the linkage? Socialism, capitalism, communism, they are not going to emerge out of vacuum. There is a story behind this. This is the story. Once you understand this, understanding the philosophy also going to be very easy. Now there is an intermediary somewhere. Socialism means some people started giving new idea that these factory owners should not exploit the laborers very ruthlessly. Out of the passion, out of the welfare attitude, these factory owners should give or share the benefits of wealth with labor class as well. Because the wealth creators are labor, they are living in poverty. That should not be the case. Voluntarily, factory owners should help the laborers also. And in fact, some workers, some laborers, some factory owners also helped the laborers. That is called socialism. That is not very violent. They are not, socialists do not want any kind of revolution. They want a sharing of the resources with needy people. Whereas capitalism says concentration of or accumulation of the wealth. Socialism says distribution of the wealth. Communism also talks about distribution of the wealth. But here it says, if you depend on the upper layer for the distribution, they will never do. This is lower section should take it. That's called revolution. Communist revolution, Karl Marx revolution. That is, that first time in the human history happened in the Russian Revolution. That is going to happen in 1917, Russian Revolution. They are going to overthrow this. Now, this is how you see how the revolutionary ideals are emerging. These are the factors. This is where politically, this is the situation. Old order, conservative order is there. With industrial revolution, a new kind of social problems are also emerging. That's why people showing their anger, but this busting out in 1830 and 1848. Next, religious factor that we are continuously seeing since the beginning of the world history series. That is a religious freedom not there. Discrimination based on religion. Jewish people should live in always in fear. Muslims should fear fear. Catholics should be fearful in Protestant kingdoms. Protestants will be fearful in Catholic kingdoms. No freedom. People who don't want. Already French Revolution tried secularism. They wanted secularism. Freedom of religion. Religion must be a private affair, not the political affair. Politics should be separate and religion should be separate. And for that, they should be given constitutional rights. Constitution itself should provide the rights so that minorities, Jewish, Muslims, Catholic, Protestants, doesn't matter. Everyone is same in front of constitution. There should be a constitution. But in case of absolute monarchy, they will never do. Whatever king says, that is the law. Whereas these people are saying these constitutional rights and this constitution must be created by representatives of people. Then only in French Revolution, that's what third estate created themselves as real people who are behind the constitution. They have given the constitution also and they declared a republic also later. Representative of the people, constitution must be there. That's what religion. All these factors made them to revolt against their own kings. When it comes to 1830s, in France, old dynasty came. Old dynasty in 1815 installed. Why in 1815? Napoleon was defeated in 1815 by all the people combinedly. That is called coalition of European coalition. They could not, a single kingdom was not able to touch Napoleon. That's why they had to join hands. Then only they were able to defeat Napoleon. In 1815, in the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon was defeated and he was imprisoned somewhere in the deep ocean, in Atlantic Ocean, St. Helena. Because in 1813, they defeated him. They kept him nearby. But again, he escaped from the prison and he once again became emperor. That's why in 1815, once he was defeated, he was taken to deep ocean. Old dynasty, now old dynasty which was eradicated, which was uprooted in 1789, once again came back in 1815. Now once they came back, what is going to happen in France? Again, old feudal ideas. Again, old clergy, old royalists who were support of the royal family. Once again, they became powerful. Once again, conservative order emerged. Conservative order emerged. But those who have enjoyed this freedom, equality, liberty in French Revolution, common people were now once again having the grievances against this new order. Who is imposing this? In 1815, in Vienna, one conference was held under the leadership of Austria. Austria decided that in Europe, no more French Revolution. If anybody talk about equality, if anybody talk about liberty, if any talk about fraternity, immediately they must be imprisoned. Their voice must be silenced. This is called Vienna Order. After defeat of Napoleon in Vienna, conference was held. All the victors came together and they controlled France. Revolutionary France was removed and once again old dynasty came. And this dynasty had to pay war indemnity because when during French Revolution and Napoleon wars, many of the territories and much of the wealth was taken to France. It had to pay the war indemnity. Once again, old dynasty was reinstalled. These ideas must be curtailed. No freedom of speech, no freedom of press. Once again, they started imposing in 1815. Once again, people have seen the freedom. They were waiting. That opportunity came in 1830 when the freedom curtailed. Once again, when their problem of food, poverty, unemployment and middle class who were rising, middle class, they could see once again in revolution they enjoyed, but 1815 once again they reversed the revolution. They wanted to once again continue the revolution. In 1830, revolted. The king was removed. New king was established. The moment it happened in Italy also, in Germany also, in Belgium also, they also revolted against their kings. because their kings also behaving the similar manner. They also wanted freedom. They also wanted democracy. They also wanted liberalism. They also wanted secularism. They also wanted constitution, liberal constitution, but ruthlessly suppressed. That's where 1830 became, they could not achieve much except Belgium. Belgium became independent. Now later it was continuously trying to maintain its independence. But in Italy, Germany, Austria, they were ruthlessly suppressed. Again, some more time till another 18 years, same situation is going on. New order came. Again, new royalists came, new clergy. Now conservative order once again going. Once again, people are facing this one. Once again, France erupted. Whenever France sneezes, Europe catches cold. This time, along with this, in 1848, Italy, Germany, none other than Austria itself. Austrian people in 1830 also they revolted, but they were suppressed. Now in Austria itself, they were successful in removing Metternich. Metternich was a person who is the one who is maintaining this Vienna order. He himself had to give into the pressure, and he himself gave up his position. There also, now new liberal ideas spread. People had to give some kind of freedom. This is the context in which in Germany, Karl Marx, initially Karl Marx was giving these ideas. He was forced to leave Germany. He is living in United Kingdom, and from there he is giving this along with his friend Friedrich Engels. Now he gave Communist Manifesto. And in fact, even in United Kingdom also, Chartist movement was going on since 1830s. Chartist movement. So everyone wanted their representation. Now king's power is coming down altogether. What is the impact? Irrespective of the place, wherever it is, old monarchs now demanding constitutional monarch. Monarch should not be very ruthless. Sometimes they are asking republic. And in fact, France became republic in 1848. France itself became republic. They removed dynasty and once again became republic. And here in this case, here state plus religion, they were mixing together. Through the kings, churches used to impose their doctrine. Here, secularism. State is separate. That is, religious freedom is separate. State and religion different. Common people should have religious freedom. In this, feudal order. Now in this, they wanted equality. Here, religious persecution, and here religious freedom, and here no representation, no parliamentary, because kings were not ready to share, and here they want representation. That means democracy, secularism, liberalism, republicanism, these are the ideas are emerging. And now people want here exploitation. And here people wanted distribution of resources. This distribution in the form of socialism, communism. Socialism, communism is saying that communism means entire resources belong to the community. Then whatever is required for everybody, it will be distributed. Socialism, whatever factory owner is getting must distribute along the give it to laborers. State, whatever taxes are collected, once again give back to the society in the form of good hospitals, good infrastructure, good wages, unemployment benefits. Poverty should not be there, welfare policies, in this way. Now you see many isms are emerging: secularism, socialism, communism, republicanism, liberalism. Many of these ideas emerged. So this is how European Revolution. Factors same only like in case of French Revolution. People started fighting, and one ism became very powerful here. Empires, multinationals, and here trump of nationalism. Italy divided among many kingdoms. Some Italians were under foreign control. Germany is divided into multiple kingdoms. Some Germans are living in foreign domination under Austria. Now German people wanted Germany nation. Because French people as a nation, France nation, they have created history through French Revolution, and they created history by controlling entire Europe in the form of Napoleon Wars. It inspired everyone. Italian people wanted Italy nation. They all feel that when Germans as a unit combined, then nobody can dominate them. When all Italians join hands, then nobody can handle. They have to fight against their own kings, their own feudal lords, their foreign dominators. In Germany also, this happened in 1848. Italy also, unification. This is Germany unification effort happened. Italian unification effort happened. In Poland also people revolted. Hungary also people revolted against Austria. Everyone wants their own nation. That's what today, if you identify how the map is there today. You see today map, Poland, Czech Republic, Austria, Germany, Italy. How these emerged? When it comes to 1848, they were only empires like this. They were not the countries. One empire like this, one empire. France you remove. France is having their own nation. But Germany divided. Holy Roman Empire divided. Italy divided. Poland divided. Like this. Kings. These territories were under kingdoms. Divine right theory they were propagating. Now they said this kingdom does not belong to the king. It belongs to the people. Suppose if the Polish people are there this side and this side, they want unity. If Italian people are there, someone under Austria, someone under other kingdom, someone under independent, they wanted all Italians under one state, one nation. That is known as nation state. People are aspiring for nation state. That's what they are wanting, nation state. We don't want empires. We don't want to stay under empires where multinationalities are there. All our nationalities must be there in single state called nation state. So this kind of impact was there in European revolutions. In 1848, once again, in comparison with 1830, 1848 revolution is more successful. But again, conservative forces dominated. All at a time, all people could not get much respite. This continuously, this effort of the people was going on. Fight between common people versus conservative people was going on. That continued till 1900s. That means till 20th century. With World War, one of the reasons for World War I also, Serbians, they wanted separate nation from Austria. Greek people wanted separate nation from Ottomans, and in fact, Greek became a separate nation in 1820s itself. French Revolution inspired Greek people. Greek people declared independence from Ottoman Empire. Greek became independent. Likewise, everyone wanted their own nations. This one of the factors for World War I is this only. So do you see now how we are connecting? These are the developments in European revolutions. So with this, we have ended European revolutions. 1830 and 1848, two times revolution had taken place. To some extent, 1848 revolutions were successful. It helped unification of Germany, unification of Italy, and later inspired other people also to get unified under one nation, one state. This is how. During this revolutionary phase, different kingdoms like capitalism, socialism, communism also gained ground. As a counter to capitalism, communism started emerging as a new alternative. It will take another 50 years to see really the impact of communism in the form of Russian Revolution. But origin goes to European revolutions. With this, we are ending this particular topic. In chapter 7, in previous video, we have seen French Revolution. In this video, we have completed European revolutions. Now you see the next topic, socialism, capitalism, communism. Again, story goes to this only. Whatever happened so far, this one. Now you see unification of Germany and Italy, I already touched. Could you see the connectivity? That's why I always recommend, do not miss the videos. Always come from the beginning. Then by the time you reach here, most of the content you yourself know. Then it will be very easy to understand the developments. So please follow videos since the beginning. In this way, it will help to understand the rest of the topics. I hope all of you got this. With this, we ended European revolutions. In next video, we will do other philosophies in chapter number 8. Thank you. Thank you very much.